And talking about business, what are the things that you've seen that are done differently from your place?
Yeah, when it comes to businesses here, I think service, when it comes to service within these businesses, it's kind of very slow. It's like someone is not, doesn't have that push, for the business. Rwanda, someone serves you like, you know what, I am not even in need of your money.
They want to keep their pride.
They are too slow, like, you're not even important. I'm not, like, I can do without that money, you see. So, yeah, they're kind of slow when it comes to service provision. It's like a customer is not that important, you see.
That's very sad. Any pleasant surprises that you've seen in your trips to Rwanda?
I think the people are friendly. Yeah, you guys have been awesome, feeding me every single day. So Rwanda generally is a clean, very clean country. You can't compare. I can't compare it with Nairobi. Yeah, Nairobi being a bigger city, so grown, so developed. But when it comes to general cleanliness of the city, it's messy.
Welcome again, brothers and sisters, wherever you are. It's the other show that we normally call BURARAHURWA in Kinyarwanda, which is like borrowing a leaf from what we see when we travel, from new things that we see when we travel, which we can use in our environment back home and make changes and bring innovation. So today I'm again with our sister Favor. Welcome back, Favor.
Thank you.
Yeah. We've been talking in that show that I mentioned that is called BURARAHURWA. We've talked about different parts of the world, different countries. We've talked about Kenya. We've talked about Ghana. We've talked about Canada. We've talked about Bangladesh. We've talked about different countries. But today we want to talk about Rwanda. But since we are Rwandans ourselves, we cannot tell. I mean, this is the environment we are used to. But you, as a visitor, I'm quite sure that you've seen some different behavior, some different attitudes to business, from different groups of people. When you visited Rwanda for the first time, what is that thing that struck your mind and you saw that it's different from your place?
One thing is the general cleanliness. Yeah, Rwanda is quite a clean country. That's something I think even you know that your country is clean. Yeah, you have also toured the world. So when you get to another country, you are like, wow, my country is clean. So Rwanda generally is a clean, very clean country. You can't compare. I can't compare it with Nairobi. Yeah, Nairobi being a bigger city, so grown, so developed. But when it comes to general cleanliness of the city, it's messy. Yeah.
I've been visiting Nairobi actually, and I think people exaggerate when they say that, because every time when I come, it's true, I stay in hotels, in good places. I don't go deep into the neighborhood, but I think the places I've seen in Nairobi, I mean, they are also clean.
It depends on the estate maybe you are in. But in this case, I'm talking about the general cleanliness of a city. Yes. Yeah. That one, Rwanda tops. Yes. So actually, that's the main thing that I see very different from Nairobi.
From Nairobi.
Where I come from.
Okay, I'm talking about business. What are the things that you've seen that are done differently from your place? I mean,
yeah, when it comes to businesses here, I think service, when it comes to service within these businesses, it's kind of very slow. It's like someone is not doesn't have that push, you know, for the business, because I'm so used to Kenyans being very aggressive. Either it's a supermarket you enter or just a shop and you want something, the guy will serve you very fast.
they will come to you.
Yeah,
And,
yeah, because a customer is like everything, which is opposite from Rwanda. Rwanda, someone serves you like, you know what, I am not even in need of your money.
they want to keep their pride.
Yeah, they are too slow, like, you know, you're not even important. I'm not, like, I can do without that money, you see. So yeah, they're kind of slow when it comes to service provision. It's like a customer is not that important, you see.
That's very sad.
Because the difference also, when Kenya is dealing with a stranger, you know, this person is not Kenyan, and maybe you will try everything to please you, you know,
so
to
that
bring
you
you close.
Yeah.
Try even to show you things that you didn't come to buy. This one, you go and show people this is from Kenya, you know, they want everything to ensure you're going to pull all the money from your pocket. Yeah, which is not here. Yeah, in fact, when someone even knows you're not Kenyan, it's like, because of now language barrier, it's like, this client can even go. Have nothing to share with him, which is now the opposite. In Kenya, because of now that language barrier, he will try English, he will try Swahili, he'll ask you where you are coming from, he will try even to use maybe the languages or the terminologies here in songs. You say you are from Rwanda, you say you are from Rwanda, ndakukunda, because of the song maybe they had. So what is that? So you feel you are home, you just start laughing, he'll entertain you. But here, it's like, there's nothing we can say, the person can go.
Oh my goodness. No, very recently, even our president mentioned that gap in service delivery in our country.
Yeah.
It's very sad, and my countrymen, my brothers and sisters, I think we need to change on that.
Yeah.
And take care of our of the client that come to buy in our shops and in our
maybe I just add on that. You see, the last month, I think it was 2 months ago, I was in Ghana. It was my first time to be in Tamale, you know. So
the northern part.
The northern part, you see. But I enjoyed it. That you are not. They know you are not. Ghanaian, you are just a visitor, you know. This is how they handle you. You really feel, you know, those guys are coming like maybe to serve me. They're like, in Kenya, do you eat this? You see, they're like trying to keep you company. They don't want to like. Because they know maybe what they're serving is not what you eat back at home. So can I make it? How do you make it in Kenya? You see, but here,
trying to make you feel at home.
Another thing I saw now in Accra, I was so amazed. I came back and told my colleagues, I've never seen that. So one thing I realized in Ghana, when you are a stranger and you are African, I realized I have problem with whites. But when you are African, I was so shocked. I was moving because of traffic, so I said, let me use motorbike. So I got a guy, he carried me to that place. I bought what I had gone to buy, and then now I'm coming back. You know, he was still waiting for me. So when he dropped me at the apartment,
the same motorbike.
Yes, I'm like, how much? I'm removing the money. It's like, no.
You just go on.
I was shocked.
You thought it was...
It's very opposite from Kenya. The motor guy can... So I was like, wow, these guys are calm, you see. Another thing that I saw actually, it's, when I went to salon, those ladies were complaining about the Uber guys. And me, I saw a big difference From the Uber guys in Kenya and the Uber guys in Ghana, they were so kind. I told them, you guys appreciate what you have. In fact, someone talking carelessly to a Uber guy, you have already ordered, the guy is the one who calls. You know, Kenya, they don't even call. You are the one to call, you see. And then it's like, use Google Maps, you'll get me where I am. Kenyan man will abuse you. And this guy will struggle on their own and come to where you are using Google. And still is calling you, it's like coming inside to pick you. I'm like, wow, these are the best Uber guys me have ever met. You know, which is very opposite from Kenya. He will cancel without telling you. Go is where you are still there waiting. When you're looking at the app, the guy canceled long time ago, but your minutes are very messy.
So back to Rwanda. Back to Rwanda. That poor service delivery. Did you which areas did you experience it?
Wow, especially in my apartment. I've traveled. And these furnished apartments, my goodness, it's very different from what I've seen here in Rwanda. I think that area guys really need to improve on. Like seriously. Because for you to call an apartment a fully furnished apartment, it means it has everything a guest might be in need of. You see, when you're traveling to a foreign or another country, number one, there are those things you will not carry along with you. So because you have booked or you have searched online and you have seen this is a fully furnished apartment, and maybe, so the most beautiful thing that I see there are just those few seats, you see. But for you to call something, because this is a business and you need to treat your business seriously, and it's not local, because anybody from any part of the world can Google it and book it. So make it also a standard, you know, make it high class, invest in these apartments. You see, if you're calling it a fully furnished apartment, it must have everything, including those things that even your guests where they're coming from, they don't have or they have never seen. You see, so you try to be different from any other person in the industry, you know, in that field you are in. So for you call it furnished apartment, like my apartment, it doesn't have even an iron box.
And even when you ask,
it doesn't have even a kettle, you know, it doesn't have even towel. It doesn't have even slippers, you know. So you wonder, how is this guest going to bed, you know, to shower?
And when you ask, do they provide?
And when you ask, like what shocked me, I asked about bed sheets. One thing you need to know, that client, that guest coming to that house, they don't live the way you live from where they're coming from.
Exactly.
You don't know their caliber. You see, you don't know whether they are too low, they are average, or they are very high. But they have decided to use your property. At least make it standard. So what shocked me most above everything, when I asked for bed sheets, I was told here we change bed sheets after 7 days.
And they are saying it as
it's normal, you see.
As they are not going to make any exception.
They are not going to make any exception, you know. I'm like, wow. Actually, I had to take now, we call them Maasai shawls. They are very common in Kenya. So that is what I had to now put so that I can sleep. Because personally, I cannot sleep on a bed sheet for more than 2 days. It was, I don't sleep, by the way. You see, I'm here, I must adjust.
you feel like you are...
So I take my dress, I put on the pillow for...
Oh my goodness. You feel like you are stuck in that...
because number one, your own hair has oil. You see, so you are like, what? During the night, even if you showered, you still sweat. So you're just sleeping in a place, and you know this place is not that, you know. No like room service, you see. We're doing all these things because like we are cooking, you have these banana peels or what, mango, they are smelling, but they remove it after 7 days.
No one will come in to take the dustbin out.
And so especially let me encourage people that are in this hospitality. Please just up your game. Make it different. You can go online, Google, see what other people are doing that is different from what the services that you are offering. You see, at least have someone, even if it's twice a week, like even if it's after 2 days, someone to just clean the apartment, change the towels, change the bed sheets, and be asking even your guest, what is there that is, what is missing? Would you love this? Like I've been told the internet, it's okay, it's fixed. I've tried that thing since. You see, no internet. And I'm like, there's no internet. Say it's there, but nobody bothers like to come and check on it. And now but she's back. Let's go and check why she's saying there's no internet. You see, so because I don't like bothering people a lot, I'm like, after all, I'm not here to stay. But I cannot refer anybody I know
to that apartment.
To that apartment. It's something that I can't do. Yeah, okay. You know, like in Kenya, you go to some apartments, you even like you don't want even to go home, and you went for work because the place is so comfortable. You're working during the day, and you're longing to go back to that apartment. You are busy even calling your family to show them where you are. Wow, look at, you know, everything is well catered for. You go there, like when I go to my apartment, I had to now look for the supermarket to buy soap. It is not even there, and you know, and it's expensive.
And those are little things that should be.
Those are little things that most people don't travel with. Most people don't travel with towels. Don't travel with, I don't know, soap. You don't travel with toilet paper. So I'm like, I even asked the lady, you guys don't have even toilet paper, and I'm like, thinking of the dollars that you're paying here, I'm like, wow. Oh, okay. So I was like, anyway. I'm
very sorry for that. So
it's okay.
Apart the shops,
I'm always someone who fits everywhere.
Any other place where you felt different from what you expected?
I think that's the only area. I'm cool. Yeah.
Any pleasant surprises that you've seen in your trips to Rwanda?
I think the people are friendly. Yeah, you guys have been awesome. Feeding me every single day. You've been very hospitable. Yeah, eating varieties, and I love the fact that in Rwanda, when you go to a restaurant, you'll not get one thing. You have everything, you know, so they're serving you whatever you want. So wow, that's very, very nice of Rwanda. Unlike Kenya, you cannot say you want to eat rice, I don't know with what. It's like crazy because we don't have a lot. So Rwanda is rich. You have a lot of food here. Someone can choose from variety that is there, and then you, so I think Rwanda is generally blessed.
So apart from the poor service that you experienced, is there any other awkward thing that happened to you during your visits to Rwanda?
No. Nah.
Not a person being rude to you?
No. People have been so good.
Or any other thing that...
You know, people have been so good. Only that my host, Mr. Eugene, has not bought me sombe and chifukuto. Yeah.
He must do that before you go back.
He has to do that. That will make me feel complete.
Yeah, thank you very much for the feedback you've given us. I'm sure people who are in business have heard what they need to change to improve their the way they receive customers in their shops, in their apartments, in the hotels. You know, this thing of customer care has been mentioned several times, and even our beloved leader mentioned it several times. I think we need to do something. So please don't say that's our way of doing things. No, that's not a good way of doing things. If our guests are not appreciating it, we better change it. So thank you very much. See you next time.